So, welcome to my CS50 final project with the title SensorData2Chain. Okay, so now we are at the actual website, which I host on Python Anywhere because it's very user-friendly, beginner-friendly, especially for Python applications. We have a very basic login screen, but let's go back to login. Of course, I have already created some users for testing. And this brings us to the main dashboard, which is basically the heart of the whole application. You have some very basic elements to log out, delete, and important for later, the API key that you can use to send your sensor data to the server. Then the run the sensor page is there to help the user build his own data logger. In this case, I use the Raspberry Pi and a DHT 22 or 11 temperature humidity sensor. It's basically a very easy wiring up, but if you need more information, the user can follow the links on this page. And here is the code that the user can copy to start measuring with this setup right away and send data to the endpoint, which is already specified here. So we're back on the main page, and we see the two dashboards here: Grafana integration with the sensor data and the TX hash. This is very important. This is basically the reference for the blockchain where you can find the transaction or the proof that the sensor data is actually stored on chain. This is, like I said, the actual MySQL database. And if you want the data actually from chain, you can go into the second dashboard right here, and on default it uses the current date, so it only loads 24 hours, fetches the data from chain, but you can specify any date and then fetch this data with this button. And here you have actual data from the chain with the TX hash. You can use this TX hash then when you use external tools like a block explorer to enter it and get all the details of the transaction. Most importantly here, the data that were sent to chain, you can translate into numbers, and then you see here the actual sensor data. Okay, just real quick to show you what's going on in the app.py, the most interesting part, where we connect to the whole Web3 interface. And here we see the sensor data function. This is after receiving the sensor data to the endpoint. The data is then transformed to be integer, because we can only store integer and not float easily on the blockchain. And then having all these parameters set up so we can create our transaction, which is then created here. We have to specify the gas amount, so the fees, so to speak, that we are willing to pay. Then we sign a transaction. This is using a private key of the centralized wallet that is behind all of this. And let me know if you have any questions or suggestions. Thank you.